Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing a pick-a-pile. This is for the weekend. And yeah. Oh, how did I screw that up already? I had it. Let me get the frame back in here. I must have hit the camera. Second. Hold on. Okay. It looked like everything was ready before I started the record button. Just trying to get roughly equal focus here, because it's not going to be perfect because of the way it goes. Okay, so pick a pile weekend. So I'm doing 6 again this week. And the camera cord is pissing me off. Okay, so these piles have different numbers of cards in them. This one seems to have very few. This one seems to have a shit ton in it. I'm using 8 different decks, and again, not all decks are in each pile. So we'll just start with what we've got here. I'm using my combined Tim Burton and historical fashion playing cards. I'm using my Pinnacle deck, which is my Twin Flame deck, just for funsies. I'm using the Uno deck, the Aquarian Tarot, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, Syrian Starseed Tarot, Thoth deck, and the Valentine Angel Tarot deck. So, we'll get into that. Alright, so your choices for piles. I have a Decapitated Crystal Unicorn. I tried to glue back together, but won't. Get a little head here. I have my John Lennon bust that I made when I was still in high school. We have cartoon Lego Beatles. I have Derpy Hooves. I have Lyra Heartstrings over here. And we have Jean-Baptiste, Emanuel, Zorg. So, choose your destroyer, and I will timestamp these after I get this up. If you're watching this like 2 seconds after it goes public, you might have to wait a couple minutes for me to get the timestamps in there, but the other 5 people who are going to watch this, it should be fine by the time you get to it. Okay, so yeah, we're going to start with the Lego Beatles. I have the submarine over on my pony shelf. Jeremy's with the submarine, so he's not in the stack here. Okay, let's push these back a little bit. Ringo's got a hole from the Sea of Holes. John next to himself there. Okay. So we have 40 Lego Cartoon Beatles. Page of Water inverted. That came out in my card of the day yesterday. I'll just turn it up right for a second so you can see the whales on it. Cetaceans even. Let me see if I can tighten that up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Page of Water inverted. Two of Air. Should read what's on here. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Respect my ability. Two of Air. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision. A stalemate. Pretending there is no problem. Now, yesterday in my card of the day reading, this was related to a pause, like a pre-spring, recoiling, resistant storing of energy before moving forward. Now, the Two of Air is like the Two of Swords. That's that, like, lower vibrational High Priestess energy. It's trying to expand thoughts and perceptions, which is like psychic ability here. So I see the Page of Water as a 1 or 11, and I see Two of Air with the, if it's Roman numerals, it looks like 11, so these are well together here. We have the Fool. Okay, so put him over here with the Page. I'm going to hold this up for a minute because these Aquarian tarot cards are really nice. He's got the White Flower from the Death card, and he's got a rod from the Rods/Wands suit. The costumes in this remind me a lot of the Ladybird Easy Readers. Let me go get one. I think I know just the story, too. If I can find it, because the sides are all worn off. Ow, my foot. Look at one of these. Where's the book that I want? It's gonna be over here somewhere in the other half. Naturally. It's probably gonna be the last one in the stack. Where the hell? Alright. The Aquarian Tarot reminds me a lot of the illustrations in these books. Let's see if I can get to it. There's one of those assholes. Yeah, there we go, that guy. Very Renaissance style. There's another one in here earlier. Some not as princely princes. Let me get back to it here. That's not even right. Where's the other ones? There we go. Here's another guy. So they remind me of the illustrations in these books. There's some more guys right down here. I'm trying to focus it. Anyway, if you can get your hands on these books, they're awesome. Had these for a hot minute. They're a little bit crusty. You might have seen the memes. Alright, so we have the Fool. The Queen of Rods, so that's the Queen of Rons. Rons? The Queen of Rons, she has red hair. Okay, so we'll put her over with the Fool because he's got a rod too. Disappointment, 5 of Cups. I'm going to put that with the 2 of Air here. Can't fucking talk. Okay, so I've got 3 of these historical fashion cards here. Let's see what we got. 8 of Cups inverted. Alright. It's kind of what we want there. There's that Death. 5 and 8, 13. 5 of Cups again. And the 10 of Wands inverted. Okay. Alright. See what the message is. It's weird to be like a foot away from the cards. I usually hold them up to my face. All right. All right. Oh, okay. Let me do the astrological things in here. Mars in Scorpio. I think there's a full moon in Scorpio coming. Or there was one or something. I don't know. Something like that. So we have 2 of these, Mars and Scorpio. That's 10 cups. Now, the 5 is obviously it's disappointment. It's feeling like like the world has turned its back to you. And with 10 of them here, instead of that fulfillment 10 of cups feeling, I do get, let me focus this so that they look better. There we go. Okay. So with the 10 of them here, I see it as related to this 10 of wands. But this is coming inverted, which means that the burden is lifting. And I also see the similarity between these 2 cards. It's like looking at the other side. Aerosmith, Take Me to the Other Side. So the mirror world here. And look, they're even wearing opposite clothing colors. So this is letting go of what doesn't serve you. And then this one's coming in with, it's releasing this burden from you. And I also see the moon here. That dark, painful, secreted shadow place. And especially with Scorpio moon energy being the ruler of death. Queen can be a 1 or a 13, so she's also got that aspect of death, but she's also coming in as a rebirth, especially next to the Fool, who's that restart. Let me get this other energy here. Queen of Rods. Let's see. What the hell does that even say? Oh, Pisces and Aries. So we have water and fire. It's like a steam engine. And the Fool is air with Uranus, so we might have some... Yeah, there might be a little bit of Aquarian energy here. Ten of Wands. Saturn and Sagittarius. That's why that's usually so heavy, because it's that nose to the grindstone energy. Like you have to let go of this emotional baggage, which is evident. Let me put this here. It's evident here because of this 11 of the page. He's so, I'm just saying he because it's usually a male character on the card. He's so bogged down by this, like, two suitcases of grief. 2 grief cases. Traveling heavy. And in this card, especially with the water up top, it's that a sense of drowning. Now, usually with these cards, I would say that a knight inverted would be drowning in your feelings, but the page can't even get going. And we see 11 and 2 here is again that 13. So we really have a transition here from being totally weighed down by emotions. And in the middle here, we have a shift in perspective. that leads to this unloading and this sloughing off of the 2 sacks of bullshit and starting over with this breath of fresh air and new yeah, definitely Aries. So Aries and the Fool together gives that springtime essence, that new burgeoning drive to move forward, that inner fire being restored after being soggy for so long. So let's look at 2 of air. The moon in Libra. So that moon energy, that dark, crusty place, is being relieved by this balancing out of that shadow. Change in perspective. Page of water. Yeah, so it's just this fall and earth of water. So again, it would be like a lack of grounding. And here we have the fall to the spring that's happening over here. So let's see, that one was, okay, 8 of Cups. Saturn in Pisces. Okay, so these are both giving that Saturn energy, that here it's with this slinging arrow, and here it's this emotional, intuitive. And when both of the Saturns are weighing down on you, it's 2 sacks of intensity. And then when you let both of them go, then that water balances because there's 2 fish, and then you have the arrow slinging forward into the spring. So I think that's fairly clear, and we're gonna call that it for the yellow submarine crowd here. I mean, essentially it's kind of works, because it's this here is like the sea of holes, and this is like all together now. Ugh. Also, if you haven't heard it, listen to the song Hey Bulldog, because it kicks ass. Put these guys over here. Alright, I guess we're doing Derpy next, because she was looking at me. I think she was looking at me, it's hard to tell. Alright, Derpy Hooves, what do we got here? We have a thick stack for her. This... Where did I... Oh, okay, yeah, alright, fine. I'm gonna change my segment, and then I'm gonna get a sip of water and come back. Alright. Derpy Hooves. So we have... Let me redo the focus while I hold these up. Okay. So we have the 9 of Pentacles inverted, related to feminine energy. And we have the Jack of Swords upright, related to feminine energy. Now the Jack could be either a page or a knight, and depending on what the other cards are, we'll probably find out. When I'm looking at these together, I want to say that it's probably a page, because that would give 20, but it could also be the number 1 for either of them. So it's either a 1, an 11, or a 12, depending on whether he goes page or knight. Or she, because it's the feminine. Unity, number 5. Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Alright, I had this card in the card of the day with that Page of Cups from the Beatles pile. So this is probably going to be a page. Again, that's 2 possibilities of it being a page. So we have the 10 of air inverted. So when it's upright, this is swords, by the way, and this is usually the Hierophant. The end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. Now this 10 of Swords, stick a fork in me, I'm done energy is in the reverse. So because that's reversed, I'm going to put it over here by this other inverted card. And I will refocus this one so I get back down there. I'm getting a headache from reading these through the little window in my camera. Okay. 6 of water, so that's 6 of cups. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need a 7 and an 8 maybe. We have 18, thought. So that's possibly the 8. Ten of fire. One 8 is 9. 19. Tower moment. And 10 of chalices. That's a 10 of cups. So we go for, oh, okay, so that's definitely a tower moment. Got 3 10s over here. Jesus Christ. Okay. And this could be 16 as well. And then half of 18. Okay. What's this sloth card? Worry. 5 of discs. So that's pentacles. Okay. So this is Mercury and Taurus. Okay. Alright, so let me bring this in a little bit. Oh, that doesn't go down any further. Okay. I'll just have to move them up a little bit. Put Derpy over here. Okay. So, I think that's pretty good. Like the bottom of the cards are out of focus. Okay. Mercury in Taurus. This is actually Taurus, so those 5s definitely go together. Alright, so I'm going to call this as a page. And that's Winter with Earth in Air. Okay, so that goes next to the Earth cards. This is the Winter of Your Discontent, which I actually get a lot. 9 of Pentacles. Venus in Virgo. So Venus rules Taurus. And then we have more Earth energy. So it's almost like head in the sand. Your ships run aground kind of energy. Although in this mix, we do have... oh, okay. It's the foundations. Everything's in the ground because when you go to build the house, the foundation is in the ground, and we have this tower here of the 11 and the 5 together, so 16. Yeah. Okay, so we have thought. So this is in place... 18 is normally the moon. But this is Dreams of Gaia Tarot is a little bit different than some of the other ones. But let's just see. I mean, the moon would be Pisces with water. But I sense this is more, for me, this feels more like air and earth again. It feels more like air and earth again. Mostly because it says thought on it, but then I also see this pentacle the whole time. But this is a little bit like the Magician too, because she does. I'm getting a headache from looking at that way. There are aspects of all the elements here. Okay, so the Ten of Swords here is the Sun in Gemini. So we have fire and air. And then we have the Ten of Wands, Saturn in Sagittarius. So this is earth energy combined with that fire here. And the Ten of Cups, Mars in Pisces. Okay, so we still have this fire energy. And then we have a little bit of suggestion of the Piscean here with that possible moon number. And the Six of Cups, the Sun in Scorpio. Okay. So, just like this card, we do have all the elements at play. But everything is slightly aground with a little bit overstock of earth energy. But, I mean, let's take a look at this. We have a couple instances of tower energies. We have 16 here. We have 16. We have 16. Now this Ten of Swords inverted is like releasing the pressure. It's allowing you to come up out of the ground, really, because it's like an air pocket that would erupt out of the ground. And if the tower is a volcano, like Devil's Tower in Close Encounters of the Third Kind has been said to possibly be either the stump of a huge petrified wood or like a volcanic core. So either or, the concept is something really heavy is starting to lift. Now this is normally like too much, too heavy, too much, too heavy. And this is like I am deceased just about. But we see this energy here. God damn, I can't even pick up these cards. This feminine energy is like I can't it's all right, here we go. So we have worry, and then we have a lack of abundance, essentially. And because these are off kilter, this one's upside down, this one's upright, and they're both in a negative connotation, we have a lack of balance. 9, 5, 14, balance, temperance. So there's a lack of balance, and this feeling of earth inverted, like weighed down, churning. You know, your garden is growing only rocks kind of essence. This idea of I'm struggling with physical reality super unhappy, but I know that I felt fulfilled in the past. I just don't know how to go about getting it. Right? So that's why we have all this thought. And there's an idea of trying hard to turn this discontent into an emotional well-being. And it's really like pending on this deep thought and reflection. And we see this defeat energy turning into, for the feminine, she is trying to move ahead in that page energy of, in the new thought pattern. And this says traditional viewpoints or methods. But the way that I see it is like trying something new. Because I see this as an answer to the 5 here. And I'm not necessarily saying that finding spirituality instead of materialism is what it is. Like, don't go, you know, you don't need to go find Jesus to make your life work, essentially. But it's more of the deep thought is really awakening yourself to yourself as more than just a meat sack. You're some kind of soul. And if you're around people that only reinforce this, then you will want to seek out people who are in this new perspective that you've gained. And again, these 3 10s here, it's like you can look back on your life and feel good about what you've done when you've had this rapid fire completion and this eruption of your foundation, because there's really this essence of 3 towers, 3 10s, and breaking new ground. So we'll put it that way. And I think Derpy here, not only because she has wings, she represents this idea of the air rising up, but also the confusion of trying to figure out what to do because it doesn't make sense. All right, so we'll get into the next pile. I guess I'll do Zorg and then the Decapitated Unicorn. So we'll do Zorg first. Zorg here. That's kind of weird. Somebody didn't paint that part. Okay. Zorg. Let's see what we got here. Awakening. So that's the Hanged Man, but it's in reverse. So let's go slightly more. Archangel Gabriel. So Gabriel is the angel of Annunciation. Look at things from a different perspective. Temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Okay. So in reverse, it means that Gabriel's actually come in with something for you to hear. I'm getting a headache. Okay. The Child. So this is the Magician. Although I would say that it's more closely related to the Syrian starseed Indigo, because in that there's a child on the card, and it's usually the magician. It says indigo, so it's kind of like a stage. But this deck is a little different, so it's kind of like the Fool and the Magician mixed together with this very new energy. But in this, if you're awakening, then you're having this renewal. The child. Child again. The Hermit in reverse. Okay, so the Hermit and the Hangman are kind of related. What is that? Some Virgo. Earth energy. What? It's like taking your head out of the sand. Look at Kerberos coming out of the underworld. Underwear. Yeah, Science in reverse. So that's 6 of Swords. You know what I was going to say? The Arabic numeral 9 looks like a 6 in reverse. And then we actually get a 6, which looks like a 9 in reverse, but 6, 6, 12. So that's 6 of Swords. Science. Mercury in Aquarius. This is mercurial. Alright, what do we got here? Uno cards. So we have a Knight of Cups related to the number 3. So a Knight, that's 12, and he's upright, so that's matching this. And then the 3 of Cups is that sort of burgeoning feeling of let me restart so I don't forget. It's like wanting to spread joy amongst others. So the Knight is bringing the message to other people. And we got 3 of Swords inverted. And the 5 of Cups inverted. Okay, so this is ending emotional distress. Ending emotional distress. We have an 8 here. And the 1 that's 9 again. So. But why is the 6 of Swords? 6 Swords is usually like sailing away from stuff. But I guess here it would be, I mean, it would be returning. It's like you've been, yeah. You get the, just want to see the Knight of Cups. Pisces, Aquarius. 3 Cups. Mercury, Cancer. Neptune and water. This is Neptune. Pisces. Okay. And Tree George. Saturn in Libra. And Mars in Scorpio. Okay, so it's very mercurial and emotive in here. So Mercury's the messenger. So you get a download after retreating from the world for a while. You have this new found overturn of emotional like emptiness, or you've been overwhelmed by the world, retreated, and now you're feeling like your batteries are recharged. Either way, let me get this focused for where these are. Okay. You've gotten some kind of download or refilled your gas tank in terms of energy, and you're feeling renewed, not like renewed as in you took your clothes off again. That would be only this card, but we're not talking about that. 3, 3, 6, 5, and 1 is 6. Okay. So it's bringing your renewed, recharged, possible epiphany download back out into society. All right. Fairly short and sweet. Okay. Not sure what that has to do with Zorg, but there we go. All right, Decapitated Unicorn. This at the Warner Fall Foliage Festival when I was little, and it broke, and I couldn't get it back on there. I didn't want to get rid of it. I don't know what kind of crystal that is, but it's a crystal unicorn. Let's see what we got here. $14, the King of Fire inverted. Look at that shit right there. That is intense. Flames on the side of my face. I hated her so much. I mean, he's out of balance, so. So we have Cancer and Leo. Air and fire. Oh, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Fire down below. It's summer. Which is exactly when Cancer and Leo are. Prince of Discs. Okay. Okay. So the Prince in this deck, it sits where the Knight would normally be. The Knight of Pentacles. So we have Leo and Virgo. So we have Summer, and then we have Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Okay. And that is a 12. So we have a Jack of Wands related to masculine energy, which is all of this so far. And the Jack can be a page or a knight. Because this one is a knight, I'm going to suggest that this one probably is as well. And this is Scorpio and Sagittarius. So it's like summer, 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 getting into the fall. A timeline. And we have the Jack of Cups related to feminine energy, but it's inverted. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a knight or a page yet. Oh, okay, okay, okay. It's gonna be the page because this is Earth of Water, but it's fall. So we have two things in the fall. And then we have Virgo and Leo. And then we have Earth in the cups in the fall. Okay. And the Jack of Pentacles. Oh, I read that wrong. No, I didn't. No, okay. Okay, so I read this one wrong. That is Scorpio and... No, okay, so I read it wrong the second time. So this one is Leo and Virgo. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, this is the same card. Okay. It's like, what the hell? I'm still getting used to my planet chart that I made for myself. So then we have the Eight of Swords inverted. All right. Jupiter and Gemini. So Jupiter, I think, rules July. So that would put that in here. And then Gemini, Cancer. Okay. So this is right around the same time. Inverted. Okay. So now that I've got this timeline set out here, let's figure out. So this was a page, this was a night, this is a night. Like, turn the page. Let me get this set back up. I'm starting to be able to do deeper reads now that I'm learning the astrological stuff associated with the cards. Oh, I feel a little bit nauseous. Okay. It's like, in the beginning, there was the wand. And the wand was good, and it was hot. Okay. I'm just trying to take another look at this. Masculine energy. Okay. Masculine energy is either went through or will be going through a rebalancing in the summer or in association with something that's going on with Leo, Cancer, and Gemini right now. So it's either already happened, is happening, or is going to happen this summer. Just the energy of summer, its growth, its warmth, its internal fire, its heat, confidence, that kind of stuff. So this could be like a literal timeline, but it also can be energetically seasonal in that way. We have masculine energy gets a prime directive to handle trapping themselves in this self-fulfilling imbalance of, I can't do it. This is like immaturity, rashness, demanding, tyrannical kind of energy. But it's really a prison of your own making, and the directive is to let go of it. This could also be a 1 or a 5, because 14 together is 5, so that's a death cycle. Or releasing from your own nightmares. This double down of the Prince of Discs is I'm just trying to figure out how to explain it. Oh. I just heard Taurus. So I think some of this has to do with like hedonism as well. But it's making changes, like actually. It's like, don't tell me how you're gonna be, do it. And in that respect, this act of physically manifesting your internal changes to actions and plans and behavior, you know, being healthier, you know, stopping partying and drinking and being violent or stuff like that. It's those kinds of it's like distorted masculine energy where it's like you have to always be aggressive. This is a physical change in that. It's like I mean, it's supposed to be the slow night, but it's like effort, the gradual effort from starting out to growing up, maturity. You know, it's like taking noticeable steps to balance yourself out. And when you come out here after this somewhat slow progress, you're really ready to shoot out like a rocket with this 1 here in this, the knight holding the fire stick. The only issue here is that once you've balanced this masculine energy, you still have to deal with emotional content, the feminine side, that nurturing side. So do work on what your masculine side needs to grow and to make noticeable real world material manifested change. But come fall, after this summer of growth, you gotta handle the feelings. We're only at 11 here, and we're shooting off at 12, 12, 12. So use this fire, this passion for yourself, and take it up to the next chakra and get into that heart space. Alright, so that is the broken unicorn, the masculine energy, and then the feminine energy. Alright, so we're doing John next. Let me get him in here. It's like a let it be situation here. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. I was originally going to make all 4 of the Beatles. This is made out of Sculpey, but and like hot glue and stuff. And then I didn't. I started making George, and I think it was like right before or right after he died, and then I didn't. But I have a Ringo that I'm working on now, but it's not made out of Sculpey, and I'll put that up on my channel eventually, and it'll go in my Plastic Crack playlist. So there's John. Let's see what's going on in this energy here. Big Bad John. The Star, 17, Archangel Jophiel. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So we have 17, which breaks down to an 8, so that could have to do with strength or justice. But then we also have the idea of Aquarius. Feeling light and airy and fresh, like a souffle that hasn't fallen. 9 of Earth. Look at this chick. She's got her eyes, all 3 of her eyeballs open. And some butterfly action here. She's offering you some tea with a little snake on it. There. A little tea bowl with a snake. And a snake and a butterfly. I've seen that together before. Ace of Discs. Wow, this is pretty sweet. We get all the single ladies, the Star, and the Ace of Discs. So that's 8, 9, and then 9, 10. We have 4 of Cups inverted. 9 of Cups. That's pretty good. That's 13. That's a death cycle. 9, 9, 18. 18. So we have 2 of Cups inverted. 9, 1, 1. 10 of Swords. And the Jack of Pentacles. So this could be either a knight or a page, depending. So I'm going to put this right here. It's probably a page. Alright, so let me refocus this. Just trying to get this refocused a little bit here. That looks pretty good. Get him up here a little bit more. Maybe. Okay. This is still... Well, not all of my cards are focusing. You son of a bitch. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, so Page of Pentacles. Spring with Earth of Earth. And the 9 of Pentacles. Venus in Virgo. Okay. So it's like Earth, 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 Earth. Like Moon, Moon. But also possibly air, because Venus also rules Libra. And then we have an air over here. Ace of Discs. So that's Pentacles again. So these all go together. 10, 11. 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe 12 over here. Okay. So there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I also see a tower moment here. And then 17, 18, 19, the Sun possibly. Oh my god, okay. Or was I? Okay. 4 of Cups. So Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Pisces, Venus in Cancer. Okay, so this is related. Don't go breaking my heart. 10 of Swords. The Sun in Gemini. Okay, so we do have the Sun possibly, and then air, some air, and then air here. The only okay, so this is like earth and water and a little air, and then a possible hint at moving into sunnier times, which would really get this spring time essence moving. So let's see what we got here. mean, the only thing that's super negative here is... Was this inverted or was it not inverted? Put this here. I don't remember now. I think it was like this. I don't remember. Shit. Okay. Well, I don't remember if this was upside down or not. Maybe. Yeah, okay, they were. I mean, together this is the hanged man waking up. It's like you're swinging around just kind of whatever, but your wake-up call is like a heartbreak or not being able to communicate with somebody that was important to you. It's like a bad choice that you made that was based on emotions instead of like a thought out decision. It's like a reactive like a snap reaction, like it's like being hot-headed, except you're more emotional. It's like being a poor me and whining and crying about everything, making like emotionally charged decisions. Now the 10 of Swords, I'm pretty sure it came out inverted also, which would be getting over that sense of being stabbed in the back. But here it's like, it's kind of like you stabbed your own self because of being highly reactive, and somebody that you wanted to communicate with turned their back on you. Now, what's happening in this death cycle that happens after this hangman, so it goes 12, 13, we have an emotional emotional abundance coming when you let go of this malaise and dissatisfaction with everything. It's, you know, you're leveling up. You can see this like doubling. It's like a rapid shift in maturity, going from like being emotionally defensive to the point of like ratcheting up to being ratchet, to letting go of all the stuff that you were constantly just saying, I don't like this, I don't like this. It's saying like, oh, well, if I take an ace of something, if I start a new beginning emotionally, I can give peace to myself. Now here, it's like a new lease on life. Gives you this opportunity to actually be open to giving to other people. Now, the 9 of Pentacles is usually like the single lady who's fine in her own garden, but I almost see it this way as like self-healing, and now we're able to give to other people, and we've suddenly become attractive, and whoever didn't want to talk to us now, well, they might be gone, but somebody else isn't going to run away because now we're in this contentment stage, and it's not just in your head and in your feelings, it's manifesting in the physical world. And this just says to go with it. This is that new lease as well. This is like springtime, turning over a new leaf. And then what happens is this wishing and hoping, right? As nines, especially these ones, is like dreams and wishes. Now, because these only have whole numbers, I always think of like these nines as being half wish, and this is the full wish. So it's like you're getting to a point where your dreams can come true because you've overcome emotionally reacting to everything, and your head is clear and you have a greater perspective, and you're moving into this like esoteric thing. And even here it says happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So it's confirming that moving out of this emotional reactivity and really focusing on building up instead of taking down is pushing you into this higher realm where you actually have an opportunity to grant yourself happiness. All right. This is the let it be vibes. All right, so we're gonna go Lyra Heartstrings. Dig a pony. All right, that's actually pretty good. So a Page of Swords. I've seen a lot of pages and swords today. And, oh, come on, damn it. My thumbnails are all effed up, so I can't. 9 of Flames. So we have 20 right there, or 10 or 20, because that's 1 or 11. What is that? Luxury, 4 of Cups inverted. I just saw that in the last reading for John over here. We had a 4 of Cups inverted. 5 of Wands. 9 and 5, that's 14, so we've got a balancing going on over here. And the 10 of Wands in relation to masculine energy. Okay. 15. 14, 15. Okay. So I have 14s and I have 15s. This one's a little short, thank God, because I'm getting tired. Let me check out the signs here. So this, is that the moon? Oh, 4 of Cups. It's the moon in Cancer. Page of Swords. This is like winter, earth, and air. Okay, so that's like completely separate almost. 10 of Wands, Saturn in Sagittarius. That's like the 3rd time I've had this today, so I'm probably gonna remember that pretty soon. And the 9 is the moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so these cards are all related. Then the 5 of Wands is Saturn in Leo. 15. So that's kind of like the devil. 15, the devil. No. Moon and... So there is this idea of the sun and the moon because the sun rules Leo. So there is going to be some aspect of masculine and feminine energy here, or something to do with an eclipse. Cancer. Winter. Okay. So a Four of Cups inverted typically is accepting something that the universe is giving you instead of just being like, I hate everything, so I'm not even gonna look at this. So the Five of Wands here, having to do with conflict and immaturity, and we can see this doubling effect here. 4 and 5, that's 9. So we're reaching a critical mass here of waiting around forever for something that you want to come in, that you actually like. But the thing is, you spent so much time focusing on all these things that you got that you didn't like, and just being kind of butthurt and angry about it, and not really growing up and realizing that you have the ability to reason and say, well, if I don't like these, then I'm not going to get them. The sense that I'm getting is society tells you that you should have this, you should do this, you should do that. So you do it, and you go through this program, and you never really feel like an adult, like your own person, and everything keeps coming up crap, and you're waiting for this magical thing where if you do what you're supposed to, your life is supposed to be good, and it hasn't really happened, and you're like, what the hell? And it's a lot of a society today has to do with materialism, and it's like looking for the bigger, better deal, but not ever getting it. The Page of Swords comes in and says, I want to say, like, he doesn't have the authority of the knight, but he's got an 11 here, which is enough to overcome this 10 here, which is saying, like, I spent so much time in this mode of doing what I thought I was supposed to do to be an adult. Now here it seems like it's the masculine energy, so like what I'm supposed to do to be a man. And now you don't have to be like literally a man. You could just be working on masculine energy. It's this work, fight, consume, I'm right, you're wrong, give me stuff, energy. When it's imbalanced, right? When we have the immaturity and the general malaise and the impatience and the feeling overwhelmed, we get rage and malcontent. But this page here is saying, freeze this. Freeze it up. Hold up. Put that on ice. Let's take all this fire and chill. He's like Arnold as Mr. Freeze. Like, chill, ice, cool. Like, cool it. Simmer down now. Kind of energy. So the large vehicle stops making noise so I can fucking talk. He's saying, wait a minute, now that I think about it, I'm gonna go over here. I just heard something like kind of like face the music, but it's It's like suiting up, taking a stand, having your own ideas. It's like, well, I've never thought outside the box before, but this is starting to feel right. Okay, so the idea is, don't be a societal automaton. Even if it's scary, have your own ideas. Let yourself be who you are, not who they tell you to be. And this is in terms of masculine energy. It's a balancing. It's a balancing. And we're coming out with 11. It's the right time to do it. And then the one idea, it's being true to yourself. And in that way, you resolve this malignant unhappiness. Okay? So, that was all the things. I've got a few seconds left before this section turns off, so I'm just going to go through this really quickly. If you want to get any art things, merch, coloring books, products, tarot readings, email me, thecatcameback@camp@gmail.com. You want to donate, that's PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, all Cat the Minion. All of these contact points, the full list of readings that I offer and how much they cost, are in the description box of my infomercial video, or you can email me here and I will get you that same information. Alright, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this pick a pile. Bye now.